and he will speak about using VisualWorks for store and Gemstone code management. And I'm assuming this is an experience report. And
it's a presentation of the software.
Presentation of the software. So have fun listening to Paul.
How many of you have used Gemkit before or heard of it? Yeah. Okay, probably all for the end. Has anybody used anything since the end? I mean, have you how many of you are now using VisualWorks and wish you had Gemkit? Okay. This is Gemkit is used to move code between VisualWorks and Gemstone. Changes are made in VisualWorks first, and the Gemstone environments are updated using comparison tools or by using patch files. The history of Gemkit is that it was originally developed as an MD tool. It was developed at multiple customer sites by Gemstone consultants, and it was maintained by Gemstone consultants afterwards. Later on, it was made open source to support at the store, and that happened at Camp Smalltalk 4. That was a joint effort with Joe Pakaskis and I. Joe maintained the code for about 3 years after that, and he distributed it, but he was only doing it in his spare time, and it didn't really get the attention it needed. Intercontinental Exchange Company I worked for needed it, and we first we contracted with Gemstone in order to have them get it working, get it functional. We got a version from Gemstone, and then I took that version and refactored it, fixed it, enhanced it, and what I'm showing is version 4 today. Version 4 will be available on the SimCom public repository. It's not up there today, right now, but it will be sometime after this presentation. In general, just a brief overview of the installation process. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be updating VisualWorks from an empty Gemstone database, and I'll explain why that's important to do. Then we're going to publish that code. We're going to update VisualWorks code from a customer database, one that actually has a lot of code in it, so that you can. What we want to be able to do is we're going to be able to distinguish between base Gemstone code and extensions to that code, so that we can maintain those two code bases so it's separate. Here we have a running VisualWorks image. All it has is GDS loaded. On this computer, I have the Gemstone 615 that comes off the SimCom 76 CD. I have VisualWorks 76 installed. I have GDS loaded, and Gemstone should be running. Sure. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up the Gemkit code. I'm doing it this way because I want to show you just how easy it is to get started. This is what the Gemkit code looks like. The main support is under GBC management. Release tools are extensions to that. We'll get into those later. System user represents the symbol dictionary. The system user has the symbol list names with resolution. Gemkit will resolve according to the same rules that exist in Gemstone. And user globals for system user. Each user will have their own can have their code maintained separately. This is a shared package of globals. Right now, globals is just an empty shell, and the reason why it exists right now after loading the Gemkit code is because there are certain extensions I need to get put into Gemstone. Those extensions are in here right now. They're not got installed in Gemstone. Now I log into Gemstone system user, and if I try to do a comparison, I'm sorry, this is not a completely empty Gemstone, it's already been installed. What would have happened is a dialog would have popped up that said, Gemkit extension 9, you have installed, you want to install it, you would have pressed yes, it would have done it, and it asks you if you want to commit and say yes, and that's it. So that code is already there, and this is what would have popped up just after that. This is a code comparison browser. It's comparing only the code that was in this package. Even though these are extensions to globals, it's only going to show you what's in that package. It filters out the rest from globals. It's showing all the code. These definitions match right now. If I say exclude similar, it will exclude all because everything already matches. If I were to now, what I need to do is, since global is a shell, what I need to do is populate that from Gemstone. I could either do it this way. I can go here and do a comparison with globals from the namespace. It tells me these are all the changes. This one is the same. Here's an example of a difference. Whenever there's a difference, it shows two panes. And it shows you the Gemstone code over here, the image code over here. There are 6,000 pieces of code here. Everything is sorted according to the order that it would have to be applied. So if I were to right mouse click and say select all and apply the image and update image, it would update all the code. Or if I were to update the gem, it would update all the code in the sequence that needs to be applied. In other words, the secret classes before the subclasses, things like that, namespaces before classes, things like that. This is a filter view. There are two levels of filters. If I want to see only the changed items, I would click on that. It would open up the second level of the filters. If I want to see the methods that are changed, click on that. It shows the methods. What I could do is say exclude similar. The exclude similar button is very important. What it does is it compares code while ignoring things like line endings, white space. It's a code-aware, what it does is it's a code-aware scanner, and if there are any white space differences that don't make any difference to the execution of the code, then it will say that it will be able to say that those methods are the same or different. So I could update all code from here, but there's another way to do it, which is the way that most people probably do it for the initial installation. I can go to Gemstone All Classes, go to Globals here, and go to User Globals first. I can say update VisualWorks to Gemstone. It's going to ask me which package I want to put it into. Put it into System User. Now that one should have already been updated. So you can see that it has not changed. But the globals will do a lot of updates. It's going to ask you which one to update. I know GS globals. Gemstone they have some shared variable names like nil, true, and false that are lowercase. They have those inside the globals dictionary. So if this is being parsed and compiled according to VisualWorks, using the VisualWorks compiler like a modification of it. So VisualWorks is prompting me here. Do I want to capitalize it? In this case, I want to say no. I haven't yet gotten rid of that dialog. It starts off slow, but as soon as it gets past the classes, then it goes really fast. And I can also update publish. Now from here, if I refresh, okay, global. Now VisualWorks allows you to find, to use a class definition and specify attributes. Eventually I'll go to that, but right now, these classes, the traditional way where it has a GSST definition method, which returns a definition, and really it's just getting the, it's getting things like a constraint string, which could go in the attributes declaration class. If I compare now from here, compare to Gemstone, I'm going to show me all the changes, and hopefully any differences. If I say exclude similar, compared all that code, found out that there was nothing but white space differences. That matches. I'm going to reconcile this one. So I've published from the empty database now. That's all I needed from there. I can log out now and I can go over to what will be an application editor. Well, that's working. What I'm going to do this database has extensions to roles, and what I want to be able to do is to take the extensions and keep them in a separate package, so that later on in Gemstone, when we have to upgrade a Gemstone environment, we want to take all the extensions that were in Gemstone, we want to reapply them to after the Gemstone upgrade has been applied. When a Gemstone upgrade is applied, all the base classes get recompiled with the extensions that would normally be lost. By separating the code, we can produce a patch and we can apply that. Now if I second time, image should look confusing. Okay, so now if I were to compare show much. I can show everything I'm looking for. It is showing some extensions, some differences, but it's not going to show everything. It's showing 116 now. Watch. What it's doing is, what I just did is I compared the code that was in this package, that's already known to be in this package for globals. But really what we want to do is we want to look at all the code that's in the globals namespace and compare that. Here, I'm going to see more than 116. Share any of these. So, what you would normally do with your application is you would take these and you would categorize them however you want. Like, we have different kinds of categories of code here. We have general kinds of code. Profiling things, advanced performance profiling. There's only two categories that are left right now. Advanced profiling. These, if I were to update the Gemstone globals right now, they'd all be mixed together and it would not be able to distinguish globals from the extensions. What I would do is I would create a different package. I would select where I want to go, like the store current or store default, and I would update, I would push each individual method into that package. Yeah. What I'm going to do to save some time is I'm going to just load up one of the definitions of everything. Now it recognizes that that code is a part of Gemkit. It's consistent. If I do it exclusively now, the only difference that's there is this method. This method is different because it contains a string. If you look at the original gemstone code, it's a string, literal, that includes a carriage return inside it. And when it does the line conversion, the code doesn't technically match. So it's showing up here. What I would do for this one is do an update gem on that, change it around. I just put a tab in there so it carriage return. And do a flip on that. So you won't see that again. Okay, so now we have that updated. I'm going to log in as table curator. There it is. And I'm going to update. Let's see what's out here. I go to the all classes. I have user roles. Open that one. Curator. Change the name to another capitalization. Keep the original name. Refresh this view. Curator, I see this. And what it did is it took the symbol list and put it here. Everything is going to be resolved according to that. So it would be a gemstone. And then the user globals. Let's update the rest of your stuff. Globals is already updated. It's shared. And published doesn't have anything different from what we had in system user. Managers is So if we repeat this process on all the different symbols, symbol dictionaries here, and it would end up with a bunch of different packages here that I could then publish and restore. I can make changes directly in here, and the changes will be applied in Gemstone at the same time, but they would not be committed until you actually press commit. If you fail to do a commit, you lost your changes in Gemstone because you didn't commit, the changes would still be in Works. If you do a comparison, you compare the package level, you can compare it at the class level, or you can compare it at the namespace level, and you can find out what differences are there and apply any changes in either direction. I'm going to take a shortcut here. What I could do is I have all those namespaces brought in. Just to save time, what I'm going to do is relaunch another image that already has those namespaces. It has all the packages and whatnot. Before I go there, let me tell you about this globals here. That's on. Remember that was only set up for just for the original. It was empty at first and populated for the gemstone that you were using. Well, this bundle itself, this organization of it, what you probably want to do after you start using it, after you get all your code loaded into it, is you want to break this thing up. You want to edit the bundle specification. Remove things like the globals out of this, maybe even all of it. It's really up to you. But the changes you make they become application changes, and you don't want them. You want to keep them. I'll give it another image that has these started. Okay, so if I were to have repeated the process I started, what I would have come up with is a bundle that I've named that has all the different packages from the symbol dictionaries. 26,000 definitions that are being brought down from Gemstone and then compared with the code that's in store. Right now the cost is the shared page cache is cold, and so it's being fairly exclusive. We have almost 27,000 code definitions represented. Comparison, they all match. It'd be nice if there was a difference. Let me show you. Remember, I told you it's going to compare and avoid white space, so I have to make an actual behavioral change. Or if I have to show up the comparison now. So it's really similar. It's going to show me this number. It's going to show the change highlighted here. There's a feature I like. It's what I can do is reformat. It's formatting on both sides, and that is now matching. Both columns, both panes scroll at the same time. Over here, if I scroll to the down, over here, it scrolls here. Now, another part that's more Gemkit. What I've shown you so far has been mostly developer tools, things that developers would use. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to produce file out. What you can do is file out the entire symbol dictionary, so that it can be filed in the Gemstone later on for database administration kinds of reasons. And we'll just use the tocaz script to load this code. We'll do that for all these. The other thing you can generate is when you're in production, you're not going to want to push the entire code base all the time. What you want to do is just push the differences, the changes that have happened. If you go to another, you go to your publish items list. Go down to I'm not going to let changes in this database on it. It's not going to be right. What I can do is I can say that I knew that in production we used build 55, 175, build 55, and I wanted to get the code up to code level build 60. What I can do is I can say create a GS patch for the Delta. I select the one that I want to go to, and then I select the version that I want to base that I want to get based. That would be 55. It's going to open up this dialog, and I can put in release notes, migration code, pre-upload code, say generate patch, and it's going to produce a patch that I can then file into Gemstone. It's showing me only the differences between these versions. These are the differences. That would be the play production. Normally, we wouldn't do it just for the packages. We'd do it for a higher level. We'd do it for the entire run. All the changes. I could also export the extensions. There's a script that I don't have a menu option, but you would just execute that script to create a file and file only with the Gemstone extensions, so that you could apply that for after a Gemstone upgrade to get your extensions back onto the Gemstone global space classes. one extension, one improvement that would make the VisualWorks environment, if I were to say, compare with. This dialog is different from the original VisualWorks one. Normally you get something that's very, very simple. This one shows you, it shows you different versions, but it shows you things on different release paths. It tries to distinguish between the release path you're on. These are all on the same release path. This one's in development, so it's showing you different. It's showing you the comments. Something that has the one that's highlighted is the one that it just makes it easier to find. Another part of Gemkit, an extension that was added, is what's called the release assistant. And this really gets into the second part of the presentation, which is just quick release tools. If you have a package that has changes from a lot of developers, a lot of times the developers will make those changes and marketing changes as integration ready and maybe nested underneath one. You may have packages nested underneath a bunch of bundles, and it's kind of hard to find all those different changes and re-release them all into an integrated build. This tool, it finds all those changes that are below the bundle that you've selected, and it will list all versions out there, and it will automatically mark according to the goal that you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to create the next integration build, it will automatically populate with the next integration number, and show and mark all the code that's out there to you that you might be interested in including. And this tool, if there was something out there, what you would do is you just press these buttons, no merge, and parent if they're enabled. If not, you don't need to, and publish, and you're going to do whatever it is what your goal was. So let's do We'll make this change, but it's just going to be a white space change, so it's not going to show up in how you look at the change. This is going to be a white space change. I'm a developer and I made these changes and I want to release them. I could use a release assistant. Okay, it's giving me a summary of the changes that I've made. There are no other changes from other developers to integrate at this time, but you're going to see that later. I'm going to publish this for future integration. I'm going to say test demo changes. This opens up the normal publish dialog, but it's pre-populated according to what I'm trying to do. It's going to print just the dot number, and each one of these has a comment. Integration ready. Now when I look at this, I see that I see a bunch another developer's perspective, when they go into the release the system, they're going to see all this code that's integration ready. If this person is different, they'll make some changes. Browse under this Gemkit code comparison tools. It also works with code that's not even Gemstone code. You can use it with Robertson. Showing you what version that the original one came from, showing you what I have in my image. Now when I use the system, it has all these changes from another developer that we can put into the next build. To create an integration build, I would want to include these changes. If I only wanted to release my changes where somebody else did it, then I would select this option. And I could merge these changes if I wanted. But I'm going to do those, I can create an integration build. Oh, this is a very good one. My changes on the latest build. I'll demonstrate that one. Okay, so I'm going to create the next build. What I'm going to do is include the changes that were made by other developers, showing my changes down here that are in my image. I can put in a comment. This comment will only apply to my changes. These are the options. These are the actions I need to take. I don't need to load anything because there's nothing here to load. All I need to do is do the merge. It's doing the merge across multiple packages, everything that was inside that bundle. So I would change this, unless they had a conflict here. I changed this same method to have them do it in multiple, so I would select the resolution form. Changes are merged. Publish. It's telling us something not change. Okay, this was a not. Remember that not change is only a white space change in code. Well, when I did the comparison, it found the merge tool only showed the actual changes. It filtered out a lot of the junk that normally shows up inside the merge tool, things that you wouldn't normally be interested in. And so it did not show that white space in code change, so that did not get crossed forward. So now when I publish and saying, hey, well, one of the ones that you wanted to include did not really get changed. You want to publish without those changes. They brought this up pre-populated. It's going to increment the build number. It's going to start off with a developer revision number of 0 every time it does that. This version numbering scheme allows developers to know what they need to base their code off of. Let's publish. Now I have the 62 version on there. 62, all the code that was integration ready is now integrated. And this version is now. What I'm going to do now is load the previous version. Started with and show you a really cool feature. Okay, so let's say I have this change. I think I change it with my sequence. Now when I use the release system, if I want to take my changes, and let's say that I've been lagging for a while, there's been maybe 50 rules since I started making my changes. I want my changes change to be reapplied to the latest version, I want to do the merge myself. What I can do is I can just release the system. I have two options really. I can take the changes that I have, which is really only this one, and I can say, I could publish for future integration, or I can take my changes and reapply them to the latest builds. And that's the one that I want to show you. These are the actions I need to do that. It knows that it can load these, and it knows that there are changes in there. Just load it. Now, those changes that I had are now applied. See what differences it should. Since I didn't commit any of the changes to Gemstone, I'm not sure how many of those changes I just made will show differences. So changes are not yet in Gemstone. I want to apply them in Gemstone, and it's like Baumann, it's a little bit gem. If I do a comparison here, if I browse unreleased, these are the changes that I wanted to keep, that I made and I wanted to keep. And you can see that now it's saying the latest version is 62. Looking forward, and it did it in a way that it uses the merge tool to bring these changes forward. Real briefly, one of the nice features about the release tool, and I'll only be able to explain this because I don't have code history to show you, but if you have multiple release paths, everybody usually has two paths. They have a release that they put out, and then they have ongoing development. If you make a change on your release path, you sometimes don't want to merge all the way back between those release paths. What you sometimes want to do is just take a subset of the changes that happen on one path and reapply them to the new path. You don't want to ignore any changes that happened earlier on that other path. And the merge tool will do that. If you can do a partial merge, and if I don't have anything really to show here, but what would happen is if there were multiple versions. None of these need to be merged, but what I could do is do a partial merge. There wasn't anything really to show, but if there were multiple versions on that path, then it would allow me to select the one I want to merge back to. And it would only take the changes since then and reapply them to the code that's loaded in my image tool. And it kind of loads space differences. So that's really the conclusion of the presentation.